I mean, I think that extra pressure just makes it a little bit harder. I think people were going to I thought like, oh my God, everyone's going to be so upset with me because I'm just like leaving, and I wouldn't want someone to think I was leaving someone because it got too hard. But there was just a lot in there that, for my soul, I felt like I had to make that decision. And,
if it began like a statement from a courtroom rather than a gossip reel, what if Kim Kardashian's entire public image, her businesses, her legal ambitions, her polished motherhood wasn't about empowerment at all, but about control? Not over the public, but over Yah himself. That question, once whispered on message boards, is now being asked aloud after new filings, deleted posts, and timing that feels too precise to ignore. We can trace it. Did arrest in March? The raids on his Los Angeles and Miami homes, the sudden wave of celebrity unfollows, including Kim's. By October, Diddy was sentenced to 50 months behind bars. And just as the headlines hit, Kim appeared on camera, revealing a stress-related brain aneurysm, blaming the collapse of her marriage for the condition. But insiders are asking if this was more than stress. If it was a diversion plan to pull her name away from the same network Y has accused of controlling the industry from the inside.
The thing about the kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, the kids that her friends at school, they're going to know about it. They're going to see it. And it's just, it puts the kids in a horrible situation.
By the time the federal charges against Sean Diddy, compis were unsealed, linking him to trafficking and racketeering conspiracies stretching back to 2008. West's old interviews suddenly looked prophetic. We remember when he said, "They can control Shaq, they can control Jay-Z and Beyonce, but they can't control me." Back then, it sounded like a rant. Now, with Diddy serving a prison sentence until 2028, and yet alleging ongoing threats to his safety, it reads more like a warning that nobody wanted to hear. The timing is impossible to dismiss. Kim unfollowed Diddy days before federal agents swarmed his mansions. Weeks later, she filed suit against Ray J for calling her family worse than Diddy. According to the court documents obtained by Rolling Stone, that lawsuit claims Ray J's comments were malicious and false. But for many viewers, the question isn't whether Ray J crossed a line. It's why Kim reacted so swiftly for the first time in her career to silence an accusation she could have ignored.
You feel this way. Kim Kardashian devoted her life to something, but it certainly wasn't the pursuit of academic excellence. She didn't even go to college.
We've seen Kim navigate controversy before. Leaked tapes, marriages, divorces, corporate scandals, but never has she appeared this nervous. Her legal team, led by Alex Spiro, framed the defamation case as protection of her reputation. Yet, analysts who reviewed the filing noticed how extensively it referenced federal investigation rumors, as if to bury them before they could spread. Insiders who once attended the same exclusive parties as Diddy and the Kardashians described those nights as networking with consequences. Cameras were reportedly placed throughout private suites recording celebrities in moments they believed were off the record. According to one former associate, footage was currency traded among elites to ensure silence. Ike himself hinted years ago that such gatherings were used to collect leverage, warning that Hollywood monetizes and traumatizes.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake hard you.
And yet the contradiction deepens. Publicly, Kim plays the role of a reformer, the law apprentice advocating prison reform and humanitarian causes. Privately, her timeline suggests a pattern of sudden distance from figures under investigation. She unfollowed Diddy before his raids. She stopped referencing Y entirely after his claims about controlled artists. And now she's reshaping her narrative through the Kardashians' new season, opening with that tearful confession about the aneurysm. She told cameras it was just stress, but she tied that stress directly to West's behavior. The message was clear. She is the victim, not the participant. But the optics are too perfect and too aligned with her brand's survival. What makes this moment more complicated is West's defiance. In September, he leaked text messages allegedly showing Kim blocking their daughter North's name from being associated with his new music featuring Diddy. Within hours, Kim's lawyers reportedly threatened legal action, citing the posts as harassment. To the public, it looked like another family argument, but to those following the case, it was a proxy battle. Yet demanding to expose links Kim couldn't afford to explain. The tension escalated when North appeared on TikTok wearing fake face tattoos and a nose ring, sparking debates about parenting. Kim brushed it off as such a non-issue, but sources close to Y say he viewed it as proof that his ex-wife was using image control even over their children's digital presence while denying him access in person.
Courtney always says North is my lesson on this planet.
What does that mean? She's your lesson.
It means that I'm supposed to learn even more patience.
By mid-October, the legal chessboard was clear. Kim's camp was building a case portraying Y as unstable, using every leaked message and public rant to argue he endangered their children's privacy. But West's narrative shifted too. He wasn't just fighting for visitation. He began insisting Kim had been part of the same covert circle that silenced artists like him, exchanging compliance for protection and exposure for power. According to one of his former associates, I told them, it's not just about custody, it's about who's running the story. His claims might sound extreme, but the sequence of public events has left observers unsettled.
I'm sure he's holding back additional similar pieces of evidence and probably some more damning stuff that he didn't want to put in the complaint that he...
Meanwhile, Kim's sudden health revelations seemed to absorb public sympathy right when scrutiny should have peaked. Her diagnosis came just days after new documents about Diddy's sentencing were released. Doctors say aneurysms can stem from stress, but critics online pointed out the uncanny timing. Why reveal it during the premiere of a new season, if not to frame her image as fragile and human? Some insiders claim this was strategic crisis management, a way to redirect headlines from Diddy's ties to the family's past. After all, years of footage exist showing the Kardashians attending his parties. One clip from 2014 resurfaced of Khloe bragging about half the people there being naked, while Kim posed in a 2019 Instagram photo with Diddy captioned, "Nothing like a Diddy party." When federal raids later exposed surveillance equipment hidden in those venues, speculation turned electric.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I know you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
Is the bigger question now is not what Kim knew, but when she decided to cut ties. Unfollowing someone days before their arrest suggests prior awareness, or at least a warning whispered from somewhere inside the circle. Her lawsuit against Ray J, her silence on Diddy's conviction, her avoidance of West's allegations. They all form a timeline of damage control, not ignorance. Even her role as a mother is being reframed to serve that image. During the latest Hulu episode, she wept over how North was exposed to her dad's behavior, saying her job was to protect what I have to protect. But what exactly is she protecting? That's the question industry watchers are asking as her legal team quietly files motions to prevent Ye from referencing Diddy in any custody filings. Ye, on the other hand, seems determined to force the subject back into the light. Despite mounting lawsuits, financial pressure, and reported isolation, he continues to hint that the same people who once profited from his breakdowns are still orchestrating the backlash. He claims that Kim, through her connections, was part of the architecture that keeps outspoken artists in line, a network that rewarded loyalty and punished exposure. Some of his allies now argue that his custody fight is a distraction tactic from that deeper conflict, a battle over narrative control that stretches from courtroom filings to late-night social posts.
Can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
And while Kim's legal strategy relies on silence, her silence is starting to speak louder than any statement. With Diddy confined, with the lawsuits multiplying, and with Ye promising to reveal everything they don't want the world to see. The illusion of separation between these stories is fading. Each move, each health update, each deleted photo, each filing feels like a piece of a much larger pattern emerging from beneath the gloss of celebrity branding. And as the next hearing approaches, with both camps preparing evidence that could redefine their legacies, we're left staring at the same question that opened this scandal. If Kim truly has nothing to hide, why does every new revelation make her look like she does? The answer may come sooner than anyone expects because according to insiders close to West's team, he's no longer waiting for the courts to speak. He's preparing to show the receipts himself. West's not just talking, he's acting. In the weeks since those explosive claims, he's filed new trademarks tied to North's name, secured his legal rights over unreleased Yeezy archives, and reportedly leaked sections of old contracts that point to backroom agreements between his fashion ventures and corporate partners once linked to the Kardashians. What looks like a celebrity meltdown from the outside is up close a slow and deliberate dismantling of the very system that tried to erase him. His team has been tracing financial ties between Kim's brands and entities that funneled sponsorships through Diddy's companies. Deals that, according to filings in New York and Los Angeles courts, were suddenly dissolved just months before the rates. We can see the shift in strategy, every move documented, every signature exposed. This is no longer about divorce or ego. It's about accountability, something the Hollywood elite has never faced in its own backyard.